Hi, welcome to Foreigner's Wife in the Philippines. Don't forget to subscribe before you continue watching this video. So this channel is just about Filipina foreigner relationship. At the same time, showcase some ordinary lives here in the Philippines. So the topic that I'm going to tackle is about is age gap a big deal? At first, before a long few years ago, when a Filipina married to an older foreigner, the neighbor's eyes is big. You know that, oh, there's a lot of there's a lot of say there, say there, say there, say in the back, say in the front. But now it's common that, and it seems that people is already immune that there's Filipina marrying to a foreigner which is older, which is the gap is 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, 60 years. So that's one thing. But I'm going to focus now is about what are some struggles in the age gap. So first it's the communication. First is the communications, because we all know that the one who is older, the foreigner who is older, the mindset is more higher. The intellectual is more higher, so there's always been a communication barriers. So that's one thing. That's why it should be open communication. So the relationship should be in open communications, and at the same time willing to learn. And in the side of the Filipina, at the same time in the foreigner, there should be a more deeper understanding because of the language barrier. At the same time, the intellectual barriers. The second thing is about which is common. There's a lot of saying that, oh, when you married an older foreigner, he will die soon. He will die 10 years, 15 years. So which is always been the topic that always been come up. What happened to you when your husband dies? Are you going to marry again? So that's one thing that they always been asked for you. And at the same time, it's the financial stability. What happened to the younger Filipina when their husband died? So yeah, it's been questioned. I don't want to go farther. I just want to focus. I just want to elaborate or made an example on myself. Before I married to Terrence, when I share it to my friends, what their question is, what happened if she died? Are you willing to, are you willing to compromise it? Are you willing to continue the relationship and get married, even if you know that possible he will just have 10 years, 5 years in this universe? So yeah, which I understand, because that's the reality. Terrence has been around. It's been Terrence's age has already been there. So I'm just been thankful. I'm just been grateful that she has no vice. He has no vices. He didn't drink. He didn't smoke. So that's why he's physically fit. So what I said is, when I talked to Terrence says, we never know when did I die, who's gonna go first. There are people that's still in their 20s. There's still some people who are still in their 30s, but they died because it's just been happened. Because we don't know when are we going to die. So are you been afraid to die, or are you been afraid to make a decisions because you're scared that that person is died? So I thought, yeah, we never know who will die first, or when are we going to die. So just do what you think is right, and do what you think that makes you happy. So yeah, that's one thing. And another thing is, a lot of questions happen. Some questioning is, what happened if your partner died? Which I heard that also questioning to me. My answer is, when Terrence is not yet came into my life, I already been experiencing hardship. And I know the hardships. I've been in that hardships where, and I'm very thankful because it makes me into a better person. All the hardships, all the experiencings that I've been through is always been makes me into a better person. So whether if I have financial whether if I have money or not, I will always be happy. I will always survive. I can survive because I've been there. you know, so there's no worried about me whether I have money in the bank or I don't have money in the bank, you know, because as long as I can eat, as long as there's vegetable, there's fish, there's dried fish, you know, there's rice. At the same time, we got properties here. We got Nanay has land. We got some. I got a little inheritance from my family, you know, so I have no worries about that. So another thing is when it comes to another factors that been I read some on the of the articles of marrying an older foreigner. When it comes to age gap, aside from intellectual, aside from financial, aside from the communications barrier, it's the sexual. You know, because there are, you know, because a lot will don't want to tackle about sexuality, you know, when it comes to sex. But yes, there are other aspects that is said, oh, when you marry that foreigner, when you married an older foreigner, what happened after 10 years? What happened after 5 years when he's not able to do? You know, but it's just a matter of, you know, it's just a matter when you sat, it's just, I'm not, I'm not ready to talk about it. It just came on my you know, so yeah, it's just a matter that you understand your partners, you know, you respect your partners, you understand the situations, so, you know, because that's another fears that most of the foreigners are scared is that when they cannot do it, when that possible their younger Filipina will find happiness from the younger one, you know, that's why it's there should be an open communications. Yeah, that's why it's very important that you know very well on your Filipina side, you know, it's just, and the same time, the same applied also to the foreigner, that there should be respect, and at the same time there is loyalty, you know, there's an honesty in the relationship, you know, that whatever happens, whether we can do it or not, we will not betray each other, you know, because that's one thing, you know, because when you're married to a foreigner, you know already you know already what are the factors that you've been facing in the future, you know, so that's why honesty, loyalty, respect, and love should be in that relationship, you know. Yeah, it's a quite bit difficult to tackle about it, but I'm just saying that I'm happy with my partner, you know. You know, I'm happy with my partner at the same time. I'm satisfied, you know. So yeah, so it's it's a quite awkward, but yeah, it's a thing that it's another thing that marrying an older foreigner and at the same time in age gap should be considered. But as what I said, it's just a matter of understanding. It's just a matter of communications. At the same time, be loyal and honest to your partner, you know, because once unrespect, because once the respect was not there, then it's already been a broken glass. Yeah, so as I said, marrying an age gap is just a number, you know, it's just a number. The important is you're happy with your husband, you're happy with your younger Filipina, and we know that there's a lot of people will have their says, will have their comments, will have their opinions, but at the end of the day, it's just you and your partner. You know, at the end of the night, you and your partner will be ended up together, and it's just a matter of whether you're happy or not, whether you're contented or not. So just the important is communications. The important is respect in both of your in both sides. You know, and always bear in mind that just be strong and don't mind other. You know, don't mind other, because life is short and it's just a matter of enjoying the life and enjoying the remaining days that you're still in the universe. Have a good day.